Hello everyone. Today I'm going to explain how to read chromatic scale. This would be very useful in general to understand music theory, but this video is particularly for Coursera Level 1 Guitars Beginners course, week 4 exam. So without further ado, let's just dive into the explanation. So before I'll explain how do you read the scale and how do you pass the exam, there are two things that I'd like to explain first. I think this was explained at some point into the course. So there's something called treble clef. So all the musical notation are basically denoted with 5 parallel lines, and those, so 5 parallel lines, and then there are 4 gaps in between. So total 9 places, and they're marked as E, F, then on the line G, then on the gap A, on the line B, on the gap C, on the line D again, on the line E, on the line F. So basically E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. Why this is written on the right side and not here? Because there is not enough space. This position of this does not matter. This ledger lines is basically the same. It has, so if you go below this line, it again starts like in the descending order. So here is another way of representing it. Notice, so E is here. Notice there is no, they have not given line here, but if it is just below the E line, it is D, then you can draw another line, and there comes C, is basically descending, and then below that line it comes B. So this is another way of representing ledger lines. So now let us directly go to the exam. So it says, which of this C chromatic scale is ascending? So C chromatic scale, so it will start from C and end with C, right? So see all this 5 option, they start with this line. So this line is basically C. Here we have in the treble clef image, there was no lines below it, but you can understand like it starts with in this, you can see it starts with C. So everything is starts with C. So it's ascending. So after C, it would be C sharp, right? So C, then C sharp, and then after C sharp, it will be D between the lines. So this is good. Then it would be D sharp. Well, one thing to notice, both D and D sharp, C and C sharp are positioned at exactly same horizontal line, but the sharp has one hash preceding. And on one place in a single tablature, there would not be more than 2, because it's always C, C sharp, D, D sharp. There is nothing in between, right? So you will always see 2. So C, C sharp, then one step, half step up is D, half step up is D sharp, then on the line E, then see this half step up, they are showing E sharp, but there is no E sharp in this wheel chart. So this is wrong, right? After E, it will be F. So if you see all these images, they have basically everything wrong. So you can cancel out all these 4. So this would be the right answer. So let us walk through this. See, it's starts with C, C sharp, then between the line D, between the line D sharp again, and then on the line E. After E, there is no E sharp. So we are directly going to F, then between the same position, F sharp, then on one step, half step up, we have G, the same position, G sharp, then half step up A, same position, A sharp, half step up B, and then after B, there is no sharp, if you look at the wheel, then it's C. So this is the correct answer, right? And once you pass it, they will say, so basically C chromatic scale, it will start with C and end at C, and we will have all the half steps except the step between B and C and the step between E and F, because there is no E sharp or there is no E sharp, B sharp. So let us move to the next one. Which of this is C chromatic scale descending? So it again C chromatic scale. So start with C and end with C, and descending. So it will be this way: C, B, B flat, A flat. Now here C, instead of sharp, because it is descending, they're mentioning flat. So in a single tablature, they won't have sharp and flat both. So this is one thing to know. So let's look at this. So everything starts from this position, and if you look into this treble clef, then let's see what is the value of the second parallel line. So this is F, E, and second parallel line is C. You see here. So that means all the scale that start from this position is C. So all these 5 options starts with this position and it ends with C. So let's look at this. So it will be C, then half step down. Well, if you take half step down from C, you land on B, right? There is no flat in between. So this option 2, we can cancel out right away. So let's look at C, half step down B, then at the same position, half step down B flat, then at the same position, half step down A, and at the same position, half step down A flat. Then in the same position, half step down G, and the same position, half step down would have been G flat here. They are going from G to F. So this is wrong, right? Because in a chromatic scale, we need to cover every half step. So we can cancel out all these options where there is no half step down from G to G flat, right? So we can cancel out this, this, and this. So only half step down here is shown this. So this is the right answer. Let us walk through this. So it comes from C, and after C, half step down is B. In the same position, B flat, half step down from B flat is A. And if you look, this A in the treble clef image, this position is indeed A. See, this gap is indeed A, and then half step down at the same position, A flat, half step down, G, G flat, F. From F, and if you go half step down, you directly go to E. Then the same position, E flat. Then one down is D, D flat, and one down is C, right? So the from C, from B to B flat, you see, because flat, and if you look at this treble chart, there is no way, there's no different position for flat or sharp notes, right? So we basically, they are basically placed at the same place, but with a flat sign. So that's why it is on the same line. But once you go to our next note, so let's say you go to A, you basically move one down. So every line and then the gaps between line is different notes. And with hash or flat, we mention like the variation of the same note. So this is 2, and then you go to 3. Let's say which of these is a chromatic scale ascending. So it will start from A. So see all the option start from this second line, sorry, the second gap. If you look at this second gap, this is A, right? So everything starts from A. And if you see after A, then there is A sharp at the same position. Then half step up is, okay, this is ascending, so we are moving up. Then B, then with after B, there is no sharp. If you look at the image, so then you go to C, and then at the same position, half step up, C sharp. Then on the line above D, same position, D sharp. Then on the gap, you get E. Then after E, if you see ascending order, there is no sharp between E and F. So F is on the line and F sharp is same position. Then you go one step up is G, then G sharp. Then they basically draw another extra line to represent A. Sorry, E sharp, A. Thank you. So in case you got the gist how to read this and pass the exam, I'm not explaining each one of it, but if you can see and you can compare them with your chart and get the answer. If you want me to explain it personally, drop me a comment on YouTube and I will go through it. Thank you.